so hard to show people the evidence is because I need them to speak out. I show people the evidence for a reason. I need to tell you about a guy named Dan. He works at the CFL here in the Dalles. Not only has he been the only one who's actually tried to do his job, he's gone far above and beyond what anybody should have to do in that position. I'm sure it wasn't cheap. Now, this is what they can spend resources on, or is this his personal funds? Because if so, I mean, he gave me the money to work on my vehicle. I get the feeling that came out of his own pocket. Since I'm pretty sure that came out of his own pocket, I'm also reasonably certain that he might have rented me that room on his own dime. All in all, he spent almost as much for me to stay there for 3 nights and to fix my car as I get in disability per month. $115 a night, plus an extra 100 because I'm a smoker. I made sure I smoked off the property. They'll probably still take the money. I mean, that's the thing, is that I'd like to think it's a deposit, but I'm pretty certain that that's not what a surcharge is, and I think it said surcharge. In either event, they took the money out of the card anyway, and the fact is, he's got a lot of emergencies because of his job, and he's on call that he has to go do. Because I haven't been able to actually sit down with him and show him much. And that's not his fault. I do want to add that. I mean, he doesn't understand the urgency of it to the degree that it needs to be understood. If we draw this out and drag this out, there's statute of limitations on my predators, on many of the crimes that were committed against me. Those need to be a priority before evidence is lost. Getting me into housing, yes, we can try to get me into emergency housing, but don't fucking drop me off there and fucking ignore me. Don't just disappear. That's the thing with these government agencies. You know, I'm told all this shit is my fault, and from all of these people that work for Department of Health and Human Services, Adult Protective Services, and so on and so on and so on, they're overwhelming caseloads, right? Same thing with the public pretenders. They're overwhelming caseloads, right? You say, I'm not trying to get help? No, goddamn. That was sexy. Mating call for a bullfrog? Anyway, I gotta go to an area where I know there's a lot of tweakers. It's the problem with being alone on the streets. You don't really fit in. So I get pot and I share it. And then people will listen to what it is that I do, and as soon as I start telling them, every one of them, they got to tell me their stories. And that's actually important. That's part of what I'm here for. When it comes to the stories of people out here on the streets, I probably got thousands of stories saved. It's getting people to do something. Getting somebody to listen. getting the victim to come forward. Now, we've got situations with people out here like Daniel in Hood River, as well as Dean in Hood River. There are things that those two men are not capable of doing because they're not capable of doing those things for themselves. And because the police know that they're not capable of doing those things for themselves. And because the Center for Living knows that those men are not capable of doing those things for themselves. And yet they keep making the suggestion and pretending like the people who can't do those things, literally cannot do the things that they're asked to do, they can't do them. It's not that they don't try. Both of those men, despite their mental abilities or disabilities, are still out here surviving. Now, I like to believe that Daniel, because of what he did and all that, when he kicked in the window, that the cops would have responded just as quickly. I'd want to think that somebody else would have called it in just as quickly. That Daniel's life would have been saved regardless of if I was there or not. I'd like to believe he didn't lose as much blood as he did. I like to believe that if it would have taken him an extra 5 minutes, that Daniel would still be alive. That's probably not the case. Now with Dan here at the Center for Living, there's a lot of people at the Center for Living I gotta turn in. This isn't a matter of retribution. This isn't a matter of vengeance. This is not a matter of revenge. Like Chelsea Aiken said, she's trying to change the laws. Well, exactly. And that only happens if we work together. Like everybody else, she's so caught up in her own stuff that she doesn't see what's obvious. We means we. You're not going to do it alone. I'm not going to do it alone. And, you know, for her, she's wanting to talk about how she's going to break the system down from the inside. How she's going to try to the inside. Oh, okay. But you're going to tell me I can't do it alone as your excuse for doing nothing to help me. And then you're going to go right on ahead and not take your own advice and trying to do it alone. That ain't too bright, Chelsea. That ain't too bright. Especially when you got kids to worry about. Chelsea's taking care of a lot of fucking people. A lot of people. What's this all got to do with Dan? It has to do with having hope. Well, Chelsea's got the hope that somebody will listen and somebody will do something. I've got that same hope. Chelsea and I could work together. I'm able to do most of the things she's not able to do. Because I'm able to do things that she's not able to do. It's probably a good idea to work together with someone like me. I can do things that parents can't do. Look how many predators I've stood up to. Look how many of them have a history of being predatory towards children. And who doesn't have a history of being predatory towards children? Well, that would be Sean David Schwartz. Not sure if you ever heard of the guy. There's things that Dan doesn't understand because I'm not able to explain it in the short amount of time that we have, the short window that he has in between his emergency calls. Dan from CFL has gone above and beyond. I'm supposed to be waiting for a call from Jordan. She's from Department of Human Services. When she gives me a call, they've got my case number, and I can go up there and hopefully she's gonna help me with the evidence. That's the thing about having that room. There's things that I could have done if I'd have had help with it, and Dan's got the things that he wants to do and he thinks that we should do first and singularly focus on. But we can't singularly focus on that. When it comes to predators out here, it's important to get it turned in within 24 hours or less. And here I am, I'm still trying to get help so that I can safely turn it in. Because of the way the police nationwide treat the homeless. I got some recordings from the homeless camp that if you heard them, you'd have a panic attack just from hearing it. There's a lot of people that looked at my evidence and just looking at how much there is, they shut down entirely, and I'm not allowed. All these people, though, they do have help. They have more help than me. Now, there's a young woman named Casey, and the fact that she texts me, but she understands the calling thing and the anxiety, and so she does call me from time to time. But she also thinks I just need someone to talk to. That's not the case. I need the same help she does. Then again, she does need that help, and she wants that. She asks for that help, and I tell her it'll mean more and it'll be heard better if you're the one who says it. I'm just grabbing stuff off the top. Fuck it, it'll hold. Alright, this is what the top of my vehicle looks like. Alright, so I was able to get the hose that I need for it. It's right behind me. I'm going to be losing antifreeze on the way to the place where most of the homeless people hang out. There's constant drug activity, but it's the same everywhere, and it's not just the homeless community. It's every community in America. Shit, there's probably a veteran in the White House. You can't escape it. And drug addicts become predatory. And all these drug addicts that are predatory want to tell you about how, oh no, I'm not like that, I'm not like that, I'm not like that. No, you are. Whether you admit to it or not, you are. Now, I'm hoping my car doesn't overheat between here and there. And I'm hoping I'll be able to get it done in the hour window that I have. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get the money to make sure that I can keep my phone on. And that's the thing that Dan isn't understanding about this being an emergency. Alright, all the stuff that they're asking me to do, I can't do without a phone, I can't do without a car, and I can't do without the fucking evidence. That's the thing, like, people waste all sorts of resources on shit that doesn't do any fucking good. I mean, what good is it having a place where I can actually sit down with the evidence and show it to somebody if I don't actually get to show it? And I get to show them a little bit of it, and I'm glad for that. I really am. But I'm exhausted, and I'm overwhelmed, and it's horrible that people denied my rights until it had gone on this long. this fucking long. I'm trying to turn in my fucking predators. Help me to fucking do that. Stop telling me to do things that I can't do. Understand that I can't fucking do them. If I don't have the fucking money to do it, I can't fucking do it. No matter how many times you tell me to fucking do it. If doing it by myself does no fucking good, if I have to have somebody else go in with me, telling me to go in by myself, again, it's not going to do any fucking good. Alright, I'm where I need to be tonight. So I got like 1 hour to work on my car. 1 hour. Good intentions. I want to tell you something about good intentions. The best intentions in the world don't get the job done. What I need to do is I need help showing this evidence. I am abused every day. I am refused the right to the services that I have the legal right to. I am denied my rights because of my disabilities.
I got some ice cold water that might feel good.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Just
you.
for you.
Thank
Do
you.
you have anybody with you? No? Okay.
No, ma'am. I sold them all in Portugal.
Okay.
I've never been to Portugal. Obviously. She did say, did I have any people with me, right? Yeah, horrible joke. When I'm overwhelmed, just like everybody else, I shut down. It's an autistic trait, yes. It's also a PTSD trait. The reason that is so difficult to tell the difference between trauma and autism is because society does not produce any autistic people who are not traumatized. Oh God, that feels good. Dan is obviously a good person. He is obviously someone who is at least trying to help based on his understanding, but it needs to be based on an understanding of me and my situation. And that requires looking at it. Instead of believing, you need to know. A lot of my friends who offered to help, I tried to show them the evidence. They said, no, Sean, I trust you. I didn't want them to trust me. I wanted them to look at the fucking evidence. Because that's the difference between belief and knowledge. As soon as these people didn't take a look, they wanted to throw things back in my face as if those things were actually true. Things that they weren't there for. Things that I was trying to show them the truth of. They just wouldn't look. They just didn't care. I must be guilty because they wouldn't look. They didn't care, right? God bless America, huh? Being stuck out, everything that you fucking do is illegal. Everywhere that you go is illegal. People like you because you look fucking broke. You must be a piece of shit. You must be a dirtbag. You must be a druggie. You must be an addict. You must be a rapist. You must be a child molester. You must be a woman beater. You must be a this. You must be a that. All them homeless people are fucking druggies. All them homeless people are alcoholics. All them homeless people are child molesters. Man, stay away from them. You know, most of us ain't none of that. Most of us are just folks who got stuck in a bad situation. What Dan ain't understanding, though, is that wasting a bunch of fucking money doesn't get those police reports turned in. When I say I need help, I literally mean I need help. Actual help, not people telling me to do something that I've been trying to do. It doesn't fucking work. Telling me to do something that I've been spending thousands of dollars to do. Thousands of hours trying to do. Because if I do these things, I'll get the help. Oh, really? Because while I'm waiting on you to stop twiddling your fucking thumbs and do something, I'm still out here. I'm still victimized. I'm still stuck in a fucked up situation. If I had had a fucking guardian or someone who actually gave a shit before Natalie fucking killed to step in and say, hey, Sean's getting fucked with. People are threatening to kill him and his family. Somebody needs to fucking do something. But here I am 6 years later. Dozens of bodies in my wake. That doesn't feel good. I don't know anybody else who has attempted to get thrown into federal prison to protect their loved ones. Nobody else. When you want to call me selfish, keep in mind I tried to get myself thrown in federal prison to keep my loved ones safe from these fucking predators that you won't look at. You can't make me be the bad guy. You can only make me out to be the bad guy. If that shit my sister went through is true, well, DaCosta and his boys need to be locked up. But they already need to be locked up because I've already got the evidence of conspiracy from, well, before I was arrested in 2001. The fact that apparently my public pretender in Scotts Bluff told Meg Missigay, this is all stuff that should have been fucking recorded. This is something these people all need to be fucking subpoenaed to court over. The things that Meg Missigay claims that my public pretender said, my public pretender needs to say that shit in fucking court. It needs to be fucking recorded. But that's not what Meg Missigay did. That's the biggest problem with Meg Missigay's quote-unquote help, is there wasn't help. All of the most important phone calls, she always had some excuse why she had to make the phone call by herself. She could only do it by herself. Only she could do it. And then I have to believe her word. I just have to take her word for it. No, that is not okay. That is not help, and that is certainly not the job of an advocate. That's manipulation. Is that job the job of a volunteer? No. No, it's not. The things that she was involved in, she needs to say in court, and they need to be allowed in court. The ungodly efforts that I made need to be known. They need to be understood. And you know what? If people are going to fucking treat me like I'm a shitty person for showing how fucking hard I've tried, well, fuck them. And I got to go through a few audio files. I can't go through them now. I don't have a place to do it. I still have no fucking help. Who do I go to for help? Fucking cops who victimize the homeless? Or do I go to a bunch of drug addicts and hope for the best? In both of those situations, I have to hope for the best. And in both of those situations, well, with the police, 100% of the time, my hopes are dashed. With the homeless, you know what? When the police wouldn't do their jobs to help me get my stolen things back, homeless tweakers did. That's right. Homeless tweakers helped me to get, well, restorators. Both of the computers that I have right now were stolen. And both of them, I went to homeless tweakers for help because the police wouldn't do their jobs. There are witnesses, of course, the situation in Tacoma. The witnesses are the people that work at Starbucks. And also, of course, my YouTube viewers, because that shit is on my YouTube channel. I want you to look up a series of videos called Computaco, Computaco, on my YouTube channel. It's a situation of me getting my computer back. Just got a man passed out at a bus stop with a heroin needle hanging out of his arm. It's got the tweaker that helped me to find my stuff. It's got me getting my computer back. It's part of his story and part of mine. I help people out here because I know what it's like to not have help. Also, I try to understand other people's comfort levels with what they're okay with. When it comes to saving lives, though, I don't give a shit about your boundaries. Sean, everything is okay as long as you don't talk about my family. And then you tell me that people are threatening to kill your family. Well, I'm going to speak up. People are threatening to kill your fucking family. I'm going to speak up. That is literally how it is going to happen. I will speak up loud and proud on Facebook and on YouTube because I never had your help turning this shit into the fucking cops. Instead of turning it into the cops, you're telling me. Why are you telling me? I'll help you turn it into the cops. But if you're not going to turn it into the cops, I am going fucking public with it. I'm not your bitch. I don't deserve this. Neither do any of the other victims. This is what it's really like to be disabled in America. This is what it's really like to be autistic and homeless. At least the addicts accept me sometimes as a human being. Whereas the cops, shit, it's hard to get them to even pretend. But they do know how to pretend, don't they? There needed to be somebody there from Adult Protective Services to help me to turn in the crimes. There needed to be a caseworker assigned to it. I'm completely overwhelmed with all of this. I'm trying to do this from inside of this fucking crash sheet. All right. Yeah, yay, thanks. Fun. A lot of people had good fucking intentions, but no, you need to look at evidence and you need to open your mouth. That's what does the job. If you're going to make calls on my behalf, Well, then you need to record them. If you record them, it's not your word versus theirs anymore. You've got evidence. And that's the problem, is that these assholes have used slander to prevent me from showing evidence, to harm me repeatedly. That includes officers, and it includes in the courts. The fact that the things that they said and the things that they misled do not match the evidence. Someone needs to look at the fucking evidence. But no, they won't. They refuse. Everybody wants to tell me this let it go crap. Shut the fuck up and look at the goddamn evidence before assuming that I can. Before assuming that I am fucking allowed. Before assuming that I am fucking capable. Before making the same suggestion 500 fucking times. Shut your goddamn mouth and find out if I did already. I'm thankful for everything that Dan has done. But it needs to not go to waste. I'm sick of people throwing resources at shit that doesn't fucking work. If you're not there, what good do you think it's gonna do? You think I'm gonna get a better night's sleep at a fucking hotel room? No, I fucking don't. I don't sleep. I don't fucking sleep. I got a shower though. Shouldn't cost over $400 to get a fucking shower though. Should it? Is that or is that not fucking absurd? Meanwhile, how did that shower help me to turn in the evidence? How did that get someone there in person to look at the evidence? How did that help me to turn it in? Dan came over and looked at a little bit of it. I tried recording it, but that's the thing. I'm not fucking good with computers. I'm not good with fucking electronics. I need help with all that shit. Need help. Not want help. Need it. When a man is abused, you tell him just to man up. I've dealt with a few Dans. Now this is a different Dan, isn't it? This isn't Dan Faber. Dan Faber's a witness to the bullshit that I had to go through. I needed to turn in evidence to the fucking cops without fear of being fucking retaliated against. That's what I needed. Someone to go in with me so that I wouldn't be fucking blown off. That's what I fucking needed. That is what I needed. That is what I worked all this 6 fucking years to get. Because my fucking predators will just say, he's mentally ill. And they get to do whatever the fuck they want. Not fucking okay.